Go! What's going on in Hot Atlanta? Live from Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 brings back the hottest hip-hop radio show live from K.L.P Entertainment and K.L.P Studios. Go! It's K.L.P Aftermath. Morning with your host, K.L.P Kennedy Lucas.
You know what it is? Put your hands up.
Tune in now on any audio platform. Go.
Yes, boy, howdy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Feels good to be back, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another exciting podcast here today. This is the K.L.P Aftermath podcast powered by Our Heart Media, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I want to say, on behalf of K.L.P Entertainment, crew, staff members, and producers, thank y'all so very much for staying tuned, watching today's episode. It is wonderful Monday. It is December 1st, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you something. The holiday season is here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are ready for Christmas holiday season, kudos to everybody who's excited. I'm quite excited for the holiday season because it is December 1st. At my house, I want to say about a day before Thanksgiving. We'll get to Thanksgiving festivities and what I did for Thanksgiving. But at my house, we decorated the outside with Christmas lights. We've got our Christmas tree up. Stockings are up. It's cheerful. We're very in a cheerful mood for the holiday season. And I do have to say to a lot of people that if you're fortunate and grateful enough to have it to where you can celebrate the holiday season, I do recommend that people enjoy that the most, simply because, there's a lot of things that's happening, right? A lot of things that are happening around the world that people may not be able to celebrate the holiday season, or the holiday season is a little bit rough for them. I do say to a lot of people, if you are fortunate, like I am and like other people out there, just be grateful that you're able to celebrate the holiday season with loved ones. It really does hit home for a lot of people who might have lost a parent, who might have lost a brother or sister, an aunt, a grandma, close relative, close friends, so just kind of watch out for those people. And when I say watch out for those people, if they're your close friends that are down and out because of the holiday season is a little bit rough for them, I'd say to a lot of people, just check in on your folks, right? Check in on your people, because it's very important. You never know what people are going through until you reach out to them. You ask, hey, are you okay? Hey, do you want to talk about it? I'm here to talk about it if you want. It is just very, very important. So I do say to a lot of people, on behalf of, K.L.P Entertainment, staff members, producers, they're all coming back from the holiday season. They all celebrated with their loved ones. It's good to have y'all back, producers, because now it's time to get back to work. But it's just one of those things that is just, we have to watch out for, and just to stay thankful. I'm just so grateful that I'm able to celebrate Thanksgiving with my family members, celebrating Christmas also with my family members and friends members, to have quite a few companies and have quite a few studios to do this podcast show for y'all. Atlanta's hit independent podcast, by the way. I'm just very, very thankful for you guys. And I'm solely thankful. Again, I'll get to Thanksgiving festivities in the topic news, but, I got to announce some things here for K.L.P Entertainment as I get my button ready here. This Friday, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to announce, and if you saw it on my social media, it's on social media, that I kind of a new album. It's an album, but it's a soundtrack. So if you guys know, within the past year and a half, I've been working on my new documentary. It's called Dear Isaiah. And like I said in the video, you do have to wait just a little bit longer for that film to come out next year, 2026. Our projected release date is January 2026. We're praying on that as well. But Friday, you guys can take a listen to the Dear Isaiah original soundtrack. Yes, you can. On Friday. Friday midnight, Saturday full worldwide release. It is a total of 14 tracks that I've composed with Swanky Aura, David Hayes. If you guys know David Hayes has been my composer for all my films for years now. So we just, have that good relationship. I've crafted and composed some music pieces, and that is the songs and the soundtrack you're gonna hear from the documentary that's coming out next year. So I'm very, very excited for that. Documentary has been submitted in, and it's been a one hell of a journey. Good journey, but one hell of a good filming journey. So I'm very, very happy about that. January also 2026. Now that is confirmed. January 1st, my official gospel album, Holy Grounds, will be coming out. I'm so excited for that one. I am. Holy Grounds is my official gospel album that will be out now officially a month from today. So very, very, very excited for just 2026. 2025 has been interesting, but I think I'm ready for 2026 because, the new movie's coming out for me. New music is coming out for me. Just all new is coming out. So I'm very, very blessed. Very thankful. If you guys follow all of our radio stations, Swanky 93.3, The Heat 94.6. What happened was radio, we just content creating. We're never going to stop this content creating style. So I do hope that you guys love the content that we got going out. Now, let's get to it. I want to talk about Thanksgiving first. I've got reviews. I've got topics, right? But let's get comfortable real quick, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys know what I do on the podcast, at the beginning of the show, I like to sit down, get comfortable, tell you what's going on with my life before we get to the nitty and gritty. That's what a lot of podcasters are doing now. They talk about things, yes, but they got to be more personable, right? And that's just one thing we get from this show is we're real personable. Thanksgiving, shout out to the fam. Thanksgiving was very, very good. I hosted Thanksgiving this year at my house, and it was very, very exciting because I think it was quite a few times my siblings and my mom saw my house, but they coming back because we redid the house and stuff. So very, very excited to have them come over. We did fried turkey, which is very, very good. Fried turkey is the best thing since sliced bread, hands down. Everybody bakes their turkey and their ham. Everybody's a baker, right? One thing I like to do is fry, right? And the Thanksgiving, if you guys know, I'm a gym goer. I'm an avid gym goer, right? But sometimes on Thanksgiving and even Christmas, it's okay to let your guard down just a little bit if you want to eat like a fat person on Thanksgiving and Christmas, because that's your time for your body to rest. That's your time for your body to enjoy the sweets and the great delights of this world. So fried turkey, my mom brought over a deep fryer. Very, very cool deep fryer. You load it up with the coconut oil, let it get hot to 375 degrees. That was hot. And we were able to moist down the turkey down into the fryer, and we let it cook for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I think it was close to 2 hours we let it fry because it's a big turkey. So you gotta fry it up really, really well. And if you guys know about my family members, when it comes down to our chicken, our ham, and our turkeys and our meats, I like my food burnt. Burn it. Burn the mess out of the turkey. Not to where it turns complete charcoal, but I like my food to be well done. And back in the day when I eat steak, I don't eat steak anymore because it's just, I'm on a health kick now. But years ago when I ate steak, my friends would clown me in a good way. They would clown me because I like my steak well done. Well done. Not even well done. I like my food. Congratulations, right? I burn it. That's just how I like my food. But we've had the fried turkey. Shout out to Kroger. Let me tell you, it doesn't matter where you get your turkey from. You get it from Walmart, you get it from Publix, you get it from Kroger, right? Even Popeyes is selling turkeys, right? It doesn't matter where you get your turkeys from as long as you get a nice, healthy turkey that doesn't have so much hormones in it, so much of that processed stuff that companies do for their foods to make it look bigger than what it usually is. It was a nice, healthy turkey. A lot of people ate the turkey. My sister brought some collard greens. My mom made some mac and cheese, sweet potato pie, which I still got now half of pie in my refrigerator because she baked me a special pie. But I have that in my refrigerator. My sister, Shout out to you, Kendria. That's my sister. She brought over these really yummy cookies she left a tub of cookies. I'm going to be honest with you because honestly, I don't like to lie on my podcast. 2 days within Thanksgiving, those cookies were gone. I ate them suckers. I did. I ate them things left and right. I had to go back to the store and get me another thing of cookies to bake because those cookies, it was the Pecan Delights. Very, very good from Nestle. Very, very good brand. Very, very good cookies. They're scrumptious, chewy goodness. It was just so scrumptious, T. It was really, really good. What else we had? We had wine. We had some Prosecco. We had some margaritas. We had a strawberry shortcake and fruit cake. You know, we had a lot of things for Thanksgiving, but I think the thing that I enjoy the most when it came down to Thanksgiving was to have my family members together. Right. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just something that I get very, very happy for when I get to see my families, and my family has come together on a special occasion like Thanksgiving, and to really, really do it out really well. And then they say, hey, Lucas, you know, your house is looking really nice because obviously we redid the house previously. So, you know, it's just to see something full circle and just to be so grateful and to have all my family members. They're healthy. They're not sick. They're not in illness. They're doing their thing and you know, striving in life, and you can only pray for goodness for your family members, and to have them sit down and eat. And of course, we've had my brother-in-law now, Jake. Shout out to you. That's married my sister, because I'm sure they're watching the show. Down to my friend Harmony. Came over for Thanksgiving. So it's just really, I know it's really catch-22, and it's really, really, really humbleness. And I've learned that family is the most important thing. Now, I'm sure I've seen it on TikTok. I've seen it on social media that a lot of people brought their boos and bays for Thanksgiving. I didn't have a boo or bay this year, but it's okay because I've came to that conclusion. Y'all saw that video the other day of my Instagram. Came to the conclusion that my time will come. My sister did clown me for that, about like, hey, so, because we had a fire, so I have a fireplace in my house, and we lit up the fireplace, right? Because, you know, it's Thanksgiving, I had to get into the mood. My sister joked and said that, hey, Lucas, you know, the fire is pretty nice, and you redid your house, you know, when you have somebody come over, this is a good date spot. Netflix and chill, turn the fireplace on and cuddle. She's joking, but I do believe that my time will come to where I'm going to invite her for Thanksgiving and invite her for Christmas. But I think I'm just learning to, number one, just do me, right? Work on myself, do me, be the man of God, and just do me, and cherish the moments that I do have. Cherish the things that I do have, a house, a car, family that are not sick, family that's always there. So it is just one of those things that is just so thankful for that. And what was very, very thankful, I blessed the food. Normally, my pops or so would bless the food, but I had the honor to say, hey, nope, let me bless the food this year. So I said a nice prayer. Thanksgiving is really, really important to my family because it's the families getting together. And now we're getting ready. We're turning the page over from Thanksgiving now to Christmas. My mom did text us and say, hey, what do we want for Christmas? I think everybody is just being mindful this year. Not to say that we can't afford Christmas this year. It's just a lot of people, we value family and love more than the materialistic things. Like I feel like my family members, we're not all going to shop for each other something extremely expensive, but shop for each other. That way our gifts are thoughtful. Right. I think my family members, when we give each other, we look at things that we're going to use. That's going to be very, very thoughtful, and things that we're going to use in our everyday life, right? So I think it's just one of those things that I get very, very excited for. And this is what I said at the beginning of the show to everybody, that, you know, I'm praying for everybody out there in the world, because, you know, there are family members and friends that will have a spectacular Christmas, but I do know some friends who may not be able to afford Christmas, right? I told a friend of mine, and she got sad when I told her, but this is true, because our other friend said that, you know, she told her kid that Santa Claus died, because she doesn't know if she's going to be able to afford Christmas this year because of the economy and the society that we're in right now. So it's just one of those things that I'm praying for people that's going through mental and physical, intellectual, emotional things and trauma right now, because things are getting more expensive. Rent is high, groceries is high, gifts are high, and kids want the next big thing. And, you know, you have to shovel some money around to even afford it. I do say to a lot of family members, and I say this with honesty, but I say this with truth. You know, I think it's time for young, and I only say this really for young parents because there are a lot of young parents out here in this world. I went to church yesterday and I saw they did baby dedication day at Change. Very cute sweethearts of babies that they have, but in my mind it's like, whoa, that kind of frightens me a little bit, right? Because now they're young parents, right? They're going through some things. They're hardly sleeping because these are babies. So if they don't sleep, they cry all the time. And you want to impress them, right? And they're going through some stuff. So I'm not speaking to the young parents with babies because babies don't know. Babies don't get. They're not going to understand. But a lot of young parents who have young toddler, older toddlers down to preteen, I think it's time that you be honest with your kids this year when it comes down to Christmas, because if you are a parent that is unfortunately that's struggling to make ends meet right now because of things being so high, I think you got to be honest with your kids, right? Don't try to buy your kid the most lavish thing and stretching that dollar and then now have to worry that your rent is due. How are you going to pay rent? Because honestly, the first of every month is still happening. January 1st is still happening, regardless of if you had Christmas or not. It's still happening. And I don't say that to be a damper on the podcast because I know, it's supposed to be a joyous time. I'm very joyful, but I'm just being realistic too. You have to be honest with your kids and say there's certain things that mommy and daddy won't be able to afford this year because it is just that crazy expensive. So very, very sad that it's going down like that in today's society. So that's why I said at the beginning of the show, be thankful for for your family members. If you were fortunate enough to not really worry that much, be fortunate. Be very, very grateful for that. I told my mom, she said, hey, what's your Christmas? I want this one. I would like this one thing. That's it. I don't want anything else. I don't want 20 other things that are expensive and they're just things, right? No, I want my family to have a joyous time. I want them to relax. I want them to have Christmas vacation time, right? And I want some dessert. That's just me, right? Because again, my fortunateness is I'm able to, if I really wanted something that's kind of expensive, I would just go and get it. And it's not a flex, but if I really wanted it, I find ways to get it myself before asking somebody for it, right? That's just one of the things that I like to do. So Christmas is almost here. Clowns, really. I call you guys clowns if you went Black Friday shopping too. So a lot of my producers here on the show, because we plan our script for the show. A lot of people asked us what Black Friday, if we all went Black Friday, and I'm happy to say that none of my producers went Black Friday shopping. I sure as hell did not. Because people ask me, did I go shopping? No. After Thanksgiving, I slept in, I got my rest, my body, my muscles, and my soul had to rest. I slept till about maybe 11 o'clock that morning. I got dressed and I whopped my happy ass to the gym. That's exactly what I did on Black Friday, simply because a lot of people went out Black Friday shopping and at Target. Now, obviously, I haven't been to Target for a very long time because I believe we're still protesting that debacle with DEI. But a lot of people went to Target and they've got the swag bag. A bag that probably cost Target 1 cent to make. If you think about business, these type of bags like that, it cost them like 50 cents to make. They're not losing money on making these bags. A deck of Uno cards, hydration mixer, and some cream, and some Uno cards, and some nerds came into these bags at Target. Folks literally wait 5 hours for that crap. And Target is looking at y'all like, look at these idiots. These idiots will come out and do anything. That's what Target is looking at y'all. Target is looking at y'all bimbos who waited 5 hours for Black Friday, which Black Friday, let's be honest. A lot of people ask me, T, in the audience, is Black Friday dead? I do believe Black Friday is dead right now, simply because it's kind of what I said at the beginning. The economy is not great. Things are crazy expensive. Folks are minding their wallets. And I think I said this in quite a few podcast episodes back. I said this and I think we talked about it. I said, people are not going to do Black Friday shopping this year because it's crazy expensive. People are going to be very tight knit with their money nowadays. And this is what I said a couple of months back, because when the economy really went bad, that's when I thought was going to happen. Now we're here in Black Friday. I'm seeing it on TikTok, social media. A lot of people are not there. A lot of people said, nope, we're not going to do Black Friday shopping because it's crazy expensive. A TV could be $200 regular retail MSRP, but then the Black Friday sale, they'll say, oh, Black Friday, it's $200 now. Target know what they're doing. Same thing with a lot of these stores out here. They'll mark something at normal price 3 days before Thanksgiving, but then gonna slap a Black Friday sticker and put pretty colors on it, and for the same MSRP, to trick y'all to think y'all getting a deal, but you're really not, right? So I congratulate people who stayed in. I sure as hell stayed in on Black Friday, honestly, and it's not to say that, you know, oh, I couldn't go Black Friday because I didn't have the money. I could, but I don't like to buy crap, right? When you're thankful and you're gracious, you got everything you always wanted. I don't go out and just buy shit just to buy shit, right? I go in there if I really wanted to get something. And really, when I go shopping like that for technology, I shop for the studio, right? I go to Best Buy to get a new microphone if we needed it for the studio, right? I don't buy shit just to go buy shit. That's what I think a lot of people who did go Black Friday shopping, they went because, hey, I can just buy shit just to say I bought shit. So I do congratulate people for not boycotting or protesting Black Friday, because I don't really, if people are boycotting Black Friday, I don't even know why we're boycotting that. I don't know. I haven't been in the news like that, but I think a lot of people are just not going because a lot of people are very tight knit with their money right now. I'd rather have money for rent than money for this new technology it's gonna be fun at the moment, but then you get tired of it, right? I think a lot of people just got to be a little bit more selfish with it. So I do say to a lot of people, if you did go to Target, I mean, because when people got the swag bag tea in audience, they went to TikTok because it was just content for them. But I don't feel bad for people who feel mad about what they got for Black Friday, because again, you're the bimbo or the dumbass that just went to Target and they tricked you, right? That's just the way I see it. So a lot of people stayed in. Now, I will say, I'm speaking of the gym, a lot of people were in the gym Friday, which was great. I love to see that. I love to see the moment where day after Thanksgiving, the gyms were packed. I love to see that. I'm here for that. I think it's just one of those things that's just very, very glorious, right? But December's here. I'm very, very excited. I'm very, very grateful for the December moments. I do say to a lot of people, stay warm, because it was cold yesterday and today. So stay warm, stay cool, because it's getting a little bit cooler. One of my friends said that we were going to have a cold front after Thanksgiving. He wasn't lying. The cold front came in. It was rainy all day yesterday too. Okay, so speaking of news announcements and topics of conversation, let's talk about WWE real quick, right? Because it's been a minute since I talked about WWE on the show. I wanted to talk about this one because I did see it on Saturday, of course. WWE was on the West Coast this week, of course, for this year's Survivor Series War Games. And I just wanted to talk briefly about it because I was hoping that we would have some sort of big surprises this year, in audiences, but we didn't have that much of a surprise this year. Now, I do think it's really unique that WWE was at a ballpark, right? They were in San Diego, California, at Petco Park, where the San Diego Padres play. I do think that that's really cool. I do. I do hope they do more of that, because there's a lot of great baseball stadiums that they can occupy. I think that just opens up another way to have a venue at a good price. I think they paid a good price for it, because you got to think about, baseball stadiums are not as large as a football stadium. They might be bigger than arenas, yes. But when it comes down to trying to compare a baseball stadium to a big football stadium, baseball stadiums are just a tad bit smaller, I think, in my opinion. I think baseball stadiums is going to be really, really dope for WWE, and it just opens up a new avenue, not just at Petco Park, but I see them coming to Truist Park in Atlanta for a pay-per-view. I see it. Because if Chris Brown can come at Truist Park for his Breezy Bowl concert and sell out, I think WWE could sell out Truist Park. I really, really do. Will it be hectic as hell? Hell yes. But eventually WWE is looking at these baseball stadiums to see how can they do a PLE and not have to do a big, gigantic stadium, right? And to make more money that way. I do see that happening. I'm very, very stoic about that. So the scenery was very great. They had some great weather, which was awesome. So here is the lineup. Now, we only got 4 matches, which was okay because the War Games match were long, right? Let's just go off with what we saw from back-to-back team. The women's War Games match was the first match. Of course, it was Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and AJ Lee versus Asuka, Kairi Sane, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, and Becky Lynch. Let me tell you, that match wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. I'm a critic for WWE, a hard critic, and I get that they didn't have the smaller cages. I really wish they would have had the smaller cages because the look of it just made sense. The last few years they had War Games, they had the 2 rings and the 2 cages, and then in the background they had the cages. And I get why they couldn't have it this year. I get it because space. They don't have enough. You're at a ballpark. It's space. That's why they didn't do it this year. I just wish they would have had it because it just kind of just added more prestige to the match, and the look of it just kind of added a little bit more detail. Again, that could be the reason that they just didn't have enough space. This match wasn't bad. I really enjoyed this one because, the ladies performed really well. I love to see AJ Lee do her thing as well. Lash Legend. Her theme song is funny. But Lash Legend, I'm glad she's been pulled up to main roster. I think we need more WWE. You pulled a black girl from WWE from NXT. That's great. We need more of that. Right? We need a little bit more color on main roster. Not to say the NXT is not good, because the NXT is bomb, right? It's awesome. But I think it's time that they be on Raw or SmackDown. More of us, more black people. That's what we got to see. And I get it. Triple H said that he don't see color, he see talent. I get it. Javante Evans, it's his time. Trick Williams, even though Trick Williams with TNA and stuff, it's his time. Right? Jaden Parker, it's her time. It's time. It's time is now to push on the gas, pour the gasoline on that. You got Nia Jax, cool. You got Lash Legend, cool. Bianca Belair, who knows where Bianca Belair is? I guess she's still hurt. It's been too long for her. Sasha Banks, Money Monet, she ain't coming because she's making too much money with AEW, so she ain't coming back for a while, right? It's time to pull some of my black ladies to main roster WWE. It's time. Because Lash Legend can prove that she can kick it with the other ladies in the ring. I did not know that she used to be an ex-WNBA player. I did not know that. So that's good to know that she played professional ball, and now she's in WWE. That's really dope because I had no idea she did that. But like I say, the ladies really came out really well. Obviously, Rhea Ripley's team, they won. It's good to see Mommy. I hope that her face gets, fixed because I think she had surgery on her face and it's like a mask now. Wasn't really rocking with the mask she was rocking with. I get because that's part of her character. I just didn't care too much for the mask. I wanted to see a pretty face, right? I want to see Mommy's face. Very, very good match when it comes down to it. Again, they came up on top. The next match we had was John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio. That match wasn't bad as well. I thought we were going to have a surprise. When Dominic Mysterio faked an injury, I thought he was trying to chicken out of the match. Like, at first when he faked that injury, I really thought that we were going to... I thought we were going to get a surprise. Like, hey, he's hurt. Based off kayfabe and the storyline, let's pull somebody else in there because it made sense. If Dominic got too hurt, he had to vacate that match. John Cena has to beat somebody. He has to go. And then you had Chris Jericho come out, or Edge come out, right? John Cena's farewell tour. John Cena had rivalries for both Chris Jericho and Edge. It just makes sense. But we did get a surprise because Liv Morgan came back from her injury, her legitimate injury. It's good to see her back. I thought she turned on Dom. I really thought she did, but obviously she kicked John Cena in the nuts. It was a fake out, and that was all part of the plan. Dominic Mysterio wins the Intercontinental Champion back. Like I do say, Dominic Mysterio is starting to grow on me a little bit, right? He's a superstar. He plays it really well. He can wrestle. He actually can wrestle. Believe what you believe, not with Dominic Mysterio. That man can wrestle. He can. He can wrestle his butt off. He's really improved over the years. So I'm starting to grow on him. I would have loved to see John Cena hold on to that belt just a little bit longer, because if he hold on to the belt, his last match, I would have booked him to where, okay, he's Intercontinental Champion. Let's let him hold on to it. He's going to defend that belt at Saturday night's main event. His last match in December, the next 2 weeks, he loses to somebody. I do wish they would have booked somebody else other than, because what I see, who's going to retire John Cena is Gunther, right? I think Gunther is going to be the one, and I could be wrong, but I think Gunther is going to be the one that now that he's back with stuff, and he still needs to be pulled over to be a mega star, John Cena is going to help Gunther be pulled over, right? I voted for LA Knight. I voted for LA Knight to be pulled over because I think it's time for LA Knight to be pulled over as a superstar. I think it's time for LA Knight to hold a championship again because it's been way too long for him. But again, it was a fake out. We had Liv Morgan come back. Very, very good. And then the next match we had with Women's World Championship, Stephanie Vaquer, Nikki Bella. I'm going to be, and my little brother, they're probably watching the show. I am not a fan of Nikki Bella anymore. I think this was just a shitty booking. I think Stephanie Vaquer is way too good for Nikki Bella. I think Stephanie Vaquer needed to be booked on something else. Nikki Bella, although her podcast is amazing, although she is a superstar, I just don't see her my favorite as a in-ring competitor. I think it's time for Nikki Bella to hang that shit up and do something else, right? I'm tired of it. And maybe I'm just a hard critic on Nikki Bella simply because she came up in the Divas era. So any superstar that was in the Divas era, I don't give them the same decorum that I do the Women's Evolution who were not in the Divas era and actually can wrestle. And that's not to say that Nikki Bella can't wrestle. I just think Stephanie Vaquer should have been booked on somebody else. Honestly. That's just how I feel. I didn't watch this. I watched this match. I was at home. It was playing. I was flipping on my phone on TikTok while this match was going on because I just was not interested because this booking just didn't work well for me. And I could be different. I'm sorry, Bella Army that's watching the podcast. You might shit on my show because I'm saying this. I just didn't like this booking for Stephanie Vaquer. I think, again, she's way too damn good to be going against Nikki Bella of all superstars when there's a talented roster of superstars that could give us a one slobber knocker of a match. That's just my opinion. Didn't care too much about this. I think it's time for Nikki Bella just to hang this shit up, do something else. Let Stephanie Vaquer, basically what I'm saying is let's let the young talent have a spot at this championship, spot on TV, spot on wrestling that is young, hungry, and ready to be out here in this world. That's just my take. And then the main event was the men's War Games. Of course, you had CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, The Usos versus Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Brock Lesnar, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker. Okay of a match. Wasn't the greatest. You know, it was okay. It just didn't. I've seen all over social media that a lot of people thought this match was going to be the match of ages because you have such big stars in this match. Did I watch the match? Yes. Did I like the match? Sure. Was it a, oh my God type of match? Not really. It was too predictable for me. We did get a surprise. Somebody dressed in all black climbed into the match, did the curb stomp on CM Punk. Sure. Could it be Seth Rollins? Maybe. I think Seth Rollins is hurt. Could it be Chris Jericho? Or could it be Dean Ambrose? John Moxley? Because their contracts with AEW is expired. So could be. It could be those two. But the shortness of the black masked man, it could be Chad Gable. That's not far-fetched. Chad Gable, short enough. When he climbed the cage and into it, he's very agile and quick. He's kind of, the masked man was skinny enough, but not too skinny. So, sure. Here's another wild thought. Could it be Dolph Ziggler? Dolph Ziggler, although he picked on some muscle, he's agile and quick too. So it could have been Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth. It could have been. There's a lot of speculations. I hope they don't ride on the Black Masked Man for a very, very long time. Could we have gotten more of a surprise? Sure. Right? When Roman Reigns came out and Brock Lesnar left the cage and they didn't get disqualified, they were beating the heck out of each other. I would have had them beat the living shit out of each other to where they couldn't compete in the War Games match and have more surprises enter the match instead. But Brock Lesnar is a big ticket. Roman Reigns is a big ticket. So it was kind of a far-fetched kind of moment. They end up losing the match to Team Heyman. It was very cool because I saw it. At the end of the match, Roman Reigns and CM Punk dab each other up. Obviously, they can't really hurt each other because they're in that new Zootopia movie. Yes, they're playing the Zebras and Zootopia 2. Is it weird? And it's not weird because I do want to see that movie because I watched Zootopia 1. I thought it was a cute movie. I think Zootopia 2 could be good. If ladies out there, look, ladies, if you're out there and you want to go see Zootopia with a nice, handsome gentleman, just let me know. I'll take you to the movies to go see Zootopia 2. But as I joke, Roman Reigns and CM Punk, they're on a movie tour kind of right now, so they can't really hurt each other right now. But I can't wait to see what that story involves. Survivor Series. Was it okay? Sure. Wasn't the greatest pay-per-view. It wasn't a pay-per-view I can say, oh my God, this pay-per-view is good. I can't say that. I did pay my $20 for ESPN because my ESPN had expired. I needed to re-up that anyway because there's a lot of sports. NBA is still happening. But it's just one of those things. It happens. So I do hope that, everybody, if you like Survivor Series, you like it. If you didn't, I can kind of see why you didn't, but shout out to WWE, I guess. Okay, as I turn the page from sports news, because I think I'm going to save Kennedy's Corner for another episode. Because our episode today is rather long, and I'm still going. And it's Monday. It's December 1st. I want to give you guys more of an exclusive podcast anyway. So, a new show is out. There's quite a few shows that are out. I think I'm going to save my first impression review of Bel Air season 4 for Wednesday's episode because I need to watch more of it so I can give you guys more of a take. But there's another show on Peacock that's really, really good that I encourage people to watch. Now, I've started to watch this, believe it or not, on Thanksgiving Day as my house was the house was being cleaned, but, I was setting her up for Thanksgiving. And after the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade, which, by the way, Macy's Thanksgiving, let me tell you something real quick while we're here. Macy's Studio. Can we stop letting artists lip sync their way through the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade? Because these artists do not know how to lip sync. Now, as an artist myself, I can't say I'm a professional artist because, I'm still new to this game. But you have a lot of professional performing artists that lip sync the entirety of their set. Let me tell you, if you're going to lip sync your song, you got to at least know what you lip syncing to. It doesn't make sense. Like I just look. And even if you can't perform a full song to the best of your ability, at least not even half-ass it, but at least don't lip sync and just kind of rap your songs, sing your songs. Then let the music play, the instrumental of your song play. You sing a little bit, and you just kind of carry it away. If you're going to lip sync, let me tell you. Although the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade was great because it's the 99 annual, I think they're going to do something big next year for their 100th years of Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. But it's a hot mess when artists try to lip sync the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. Like, there's a lot of artists who are not on beat, who are not on cue. They're lip syncing the wrong thing. Busta Rhymes is rapping, but then he ain't got the mic, but somehow he's talking. He's like, "What's up, New York City?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to be holding the mic." If you going to do that, and I'm just clowning Busta Rhymes, but I'm clowning a lot of artists that were performing. If you going to lip sync, at least be on cue with what you're lip syncing to, so that way it's not obvious. Macy's. Let me tell you, if I was in charge of Macy's Studios, I would figure out some way to not make it look so crummy like that. But overall, as I was getting ready, watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade where all the artists was lip syncing their shit, I did watch this show after the Thanksgiving Parade. And this show is called All Her Fault. Rotten Tomatoes give this show a 79%. IMDb gives it a 7.6 out of 10%. By the way, I shout out to IMDb page because your boy's IMDb page was upgraded. Kennedy Lucas Patterson, that's me. My IMDb page is upgraded with a full profile picture and more things on there. So if you guys want to know, I have a resume of the films that I've worked on and see my pictures and me. Check us out. But I watched this show called All Her Fault. And let me tell you about this actress, this lead actress, Sarah Snook. Hold on. Sarah Snook. Now, you might know her as Siobhan Roy from Succession. Very good show. It's available on HBO Max. Good show. Go watch Succession because Sarah Snook, she is one talented actress. I love her. I love her charismatic acting, her nonchalantness, her sarcasm that she has in the show, the wittiness of her acting. She is good. She's damn good. Now, Sarah Snook, she plays a character, Marissa Irvine. That goes to pick up her son Milo from her first play date. From his first play date with a boy at his new school. Now, the woman who answered the door has never seen or heard either Marissa Irvine or Milo Irvine, the son. Beginning every parent's worst nightmare as Marissa and her husband Peter, a desperate search for her son, their family starts to come. Sorry, I need to big screen this to you so I can see. The family starts to come apart. That seems at the seams. With the new friend Jenny Kaminsky, the only person that Marissa can count on, the two women form a close and unlikely alliance. Together, they hunt for Milo, uncovering deep family secrets. That after the course of both their lives forever, charged with finding Milo and bringing the kidnappers to justice, of course, Detective Alcaraz unravels the complex and frightening web of deception and lies that has ensnared both Irvine and Kaminsky families, but his moral code is strengthened to a breaking point. So basically, you have Marissa Irvine. She is the rich. Let me tell you, her and Peter Irvine, played by Jake Lacey. Jake Lacey's pretty good too. He's been in a lot of great things. They're husband and wife. They're rich as hell. Big house, right? If you see the let me tell you something. If you see the show and you see how big of a house they have, good God Almighty. They have this house, and then the Peter, they have the family car is a Rivian. The new Rivian electric vehicle. Those look pretty snazzy. I actually thought about getting a Rivian, but I had an electric vehicle before, and it's a lot to charge up your vehicle, right? It's a lot. And then you had Dakota Fanning, who plays Jenny Kaminsky. It's good to see Dakota Fanning back in acting, doing some stuff. Good actress. She's been in a lot of great stuff. So it's good to see her come back. And then they got the nanny involved, of course. Carrie, Sophia Lillis, spoiler alert, she's the one who takes the boy, of course. And then their nanny who plays her nanny is Anna, and they become friends, and Carrie becomes obsessed with Milo, who plays Duke McLeod plays Milo, sweetheart. Jay Ellis is in this show. Of course, he plays Colin Dobbs. Jay Ellis been in a lot of great stuff. He's an upcoming actor who's been in a lot of great things, but there's a lot of deception right now. I can't say that I've finished the whole season because I haven't. I'm gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie on the show and say that I've seen the entirety of the season. I haven't seen it, but I just wanted to talk about it a little bit because the acting of it, the cinematic styles of it, the deception. Marissa Arvon has some secrets because the family business fund that she runs, she has a equity fund that's not doing so good, right? She's losing money. Peter has some secrets, right? Because they're not as rich as people taught them to be, because they're losing so much out on money and deals, and they have to find this deception. Michael Pena. Shout out to Michael Pena. He plays the detective. He's doing his thing, right? Because he has a moral code to do what's right in police work. He's one of those good cops. He also has a son that is a little bit autistic, so now he has to navigate between that. And he says he's getting his moral code's getting strengthened, because it's like, hey, we're going to help your son get into these type of schools, but we're gonna need you to break the law. We're gonna need you to be the unholy man that you are, right? While he's leading this investigation, trying to find Milo, trying to find the son of this show is dark, is gritty, and I love it. I see why a lot of people on social media has been talking about this show, because it's just one of those things that this is a good show, despite Rotten Tomatoes, despite IMDb, because those are really, really good. Now, this is a mini series. I don't see that this show might get renewed. They might. I don't know. There's only 8 episodes. I think this is a show where it's good enough to be a mini series. It's good enough to sit there and give us a story, but we don't need 4 seasons of this show, right? Because there's so much you can do within this story, right? So much you can do. Like I say, I see why people are loving this show, and I see why a lot of studios and production companies like NBC and Peacock, because that's the network that is streaming on. I see why they cater to the miniseries, because it just works, right? They're able to get a good return from the show, and people are talking about it, and it's just enough to where they're not overly over-endoused with 4 or 5 seasons of the same story. I really love this show, and I think Sarah Snook. Look, Sarah Snook. First of all, I think this show should be a contender for the Emmys. I know people say, damn, really, Kennedy? I think so. I think this should be an Emmy contender at least. Could it win an Emmy? It could. I think Sarah Snook did very, very good as a concerned mother. That's every mother's nightmare, that you lost your kid, right? You don't know where your kid is at. Sarah Snook embodies this very, very well. And she's not American, by the way. I think she's Scottish. I might be wrong on that, but she's not from America. But she plays your average American woman really, really well, right? Because she has to switch up your vocab a little bit. She could be good. She could be Emmy contender. Could she win? I don't know. I don't work for the Emmys. I don't know. Hell, I want to win an Emmy. But it's very, very good. I really recommend everybody watching this show, simply because it is just one of those things that it's really, really good. That's all I can say on it. It's All Her Fault. Available right now. It's a Thriller season 1 miniseries on Peacock. It's good. It's really, really good. And speaking of what's really good, real quick, before we wrap up here the show, I got to give some love to the R&B scene. Shout out, first of all, to Tank on his new song, Control. Control. Know you like it when I get control. Tank's my guy. And I wanted to give a shout out to R&B, because I got to give a shout out, and Dravion's here in the studio, because we got to talk some business, but we've got a new, besides my gospel app, Evelyn, which a new podcast, What Happened Was podcast is coming soon. Evelyn teased me on this one. It's true. But after my gospel album in January, we hope to have Crown Me Savage Part 2 released in February, just in time for Valentine's Day. I know I do gospel, I do R&B too, right? I do. So I got to give a shout out to you, man. Dravion's here in the studio. We cooking. But I wanted to give a shout out to Mario. So Mario's new EP, Mood Swings, is available right now. I've been listening to Mood Swings for at the gym and out and about because honestly, and I say this because I'm joking when I say this next thing, simply because, I say it's cuffing season because it's a holiday season. But like I said at the beginning of the podcast and the show here today, I'm learning to be within myself. I'm learning to not vast so much in lust. I tell you guys this, and I'm personable with my show. I'm learning to be careful about lust, right? Because in Bible and in scripture and in church, it says that you shouldn't fall too much into lust because that's the devil trying to get to you. And I'm working on it. The lust, seeing a lot of lustful things on social media. And if I do see lustful things, control myself. You guys know what I'm talking about. Self-pleasure, masturbation. I'm trying to, because I'm not trying to be gross here on the show, but every dude does it. Every guy has masturbated in their lifetime. Mom, if you're watching the show, I'm sorry that you're listening to me talk about this, but I've masturbated before. Duh. Every guy does it. But I'm learning to not do it a whole heck of a lot. I saw this guy on TikTok. He stopped to do it because he started going to church and understanding lust. He told me that he masturbated 4 times a night. I don't know how the hell he do that, but he did. I'm like, I don't do that now. But I'm learning to control myself. And one way that controls myself is R&B music, because that's what it is. It's kind of like lustful music, kind of a little bit, right? Is guys singing about girls, right? I listen to it, I dance to it, but I'm learning to have self-control when it comes down to me, a man of God. I'm rocking my Jesus pieces too. Man of God, I won't fall into lust. But Mood Swings is available right now, and Mario has a great EP. Mario is one of those guys that just really can really go in the studio and cook, right? He can really sing. He can really do his thing. I get why he talking shit. I don't agree with Mario shit talking on other R&B artists because I think all of them, they're all in one community. You shouldn't be so busy trying to compete with another R&B artist to the point where you should lift each other up, in my humble opinion, because it is competition, right? You are in competition with other R&B, thousands of R&B artists like myself, like Dravion, like Omarion, like Tank, like Trey Songz, right? Like these other R&B artists out there who are still cooking, and even your Liam Thomas or your Eric Bellinger, right? You are in competition with these, yes. But I think you should be able to big up other R&B artists, because I want to see Mario work with other artists on something. I really do, right? There's been this latest thing where he, along with Ray J and all them, everybody's shit talking on each other. All R&B artists shit talking on one another. And I truly hate that. I really hate that for the game. I really hate that for the culture, simply because it's just, to me, it's disrespectful. Now, let me tell you, if you want to, and you can compete without shit talking, right? If you're trying to compete, do a versus, a celebratory versus, like, hey, me versus you in a friendly competition. When Swiss Beats and Timbaland did their versus, they didn't hate each other. They love each other. They just did it because it was fun to do. That's what I want to see in this R&B game, right? Now, we did see a Mario versus Omarion. Let me tell you, Mario smoked Omarion. He did. Mario cooked Omarion in them verses. Let's be honest. But I still love Omarion. I still think he can sing. I still think he can be a good R&B artist. Just the friendly competition that we need. But I do like Mood Swings. Mood Swings is a good NP. Mario, I can't wait to see what's next for you. I think Mario is not finished with him, with his artistry. I do agree with him that he's looking for the right woman of God. He's not looking to get married right now and looking to have a deep relationship. I think, as I joke that I want a girlfriend, because I do. I'm ready for a girlfriend. I think I'm willing to wait for my woman of God, because when it is crafted for me for the marriage life is kind of expensive. I'm not thinking about it right now. I agree with Mario on that. I do want a girlfriend, But I feel like you can have a girlfriend without being deep relationship. You can't have a girlfriend, but she has to be a woman of God. You can't have a girlfriend, but say, babe, let's wait on marriage for a minute because we got to work on some things, right? I do agree when Mario said that in that interview. But check out Mood Swings. It is available right now. It's a great, great album. All the songs are pretty good. You know you got a good EP when I like all the songs. And I download it and liked and have it on my phone on all the songs from your EP. Shout out to Mario. So that's going to wrap it up here on our podcast here today. We hope that you guys enjoyed this one as much as I did. Ladies and gentlemen, please have a blessed Monday. Happy December 1st. Happy rent day. I'm joking, but I'm for real. Rent is due for a lot of people for first. But I'm joking, guys. Happy December. Happy holiday season. And we'll catch y'all on Wednesday's podcast episode. Until then, I say so long. Stay safe. Stay swanky. Peace. Yeah.